I had a blast from the past. I was watching the Balloon Boy documentary.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. That's the new not
Trainwreck documentary on Netflix. I watched it because I remember living through it. That news story of the guy who was like an inventor, and he made a flying saucer in his backyard, and they didn't tether it down right, and it floated up into the air. And they said his 6-year-old son was in the balloon that was up in the air. And anybody that remembers this happening, for the entire day that day, the whole world stopped. It was like it was a Coldplay concert. Everything in the world stopped. Every news broadcast. It was like the OJ chase.
It was 24/7.
Everybody was covering Balloon Boy and only Balloon Boy. And then they got the balloon. Eventually the balloon came down. It was up there for hours. And eventually the balloon came down from the sky, and it really did look like a flying saucer. It was like a big aluminum balloon with a compartment at the bottom. And it eventually got down, and so they ran to get the 6-year-old boy that they said was in there out of the compartment, and he wasn't in there. And at first it becomes a sad story because they start like tracing back and trying to figure out if he fell when it was in the sky, like if he fell out of it. Mm-hmm. And then like half an hour later, he just comes out of the garage. And he was like, I was just hiding in the garage. I'm here. And then the couple, the family who launched this balloon, who now had every media outlet outside their house, was like, don't even worry about it. You guys can go home. He was in the garage, which, believe it or not, did not stop the media attention. What do you mean he was in the garage? And then...
Don't ask any more questions.
Just stop. And then they did this interview on like the Today Show or GMA or one of those morning shows. And the whole family... No. It was Larry King's show. And that night it was guest hosted by the one and only Wolf Blitzer. And Wolf always gets to the bottom of everything. We know this. He's great. So Wolf Blitzer was hosting the Larry King show. And they thought we're going to do one TV show to get it out of the way and then be done. And they had the whole family on the TV show. And Wolf is trying to talk to the little 6-year-old about what happened. And Wolf goes, so did you hear people calling your name? Like, why did you go up into the garage? And the little kid just like kind of quietly said something like, well, they told me to go up there because it would be for the show. And everybody went, what did he just say? And by the next morning, the whole narrative had changed, and it was like this family did this hoax, and we hate them, and we're going to expose everything. And then they found out that the family had been on the show Wife Swap.
Oh, that's right.
Right, so they had been on Wife Swap, which that episode is still out there and is a banger, by the way, as most Wife Swap episodes are.
That was a good show.
It was a great show. Celebrity Wife Swap, also very, very good.
McFoley was on that, right?
I believe Mick Foley was on that. Gilbert Gottfried was on it, doing the best impression of Alan Thicke that anybody's ever heard. But he was on that reality show. Then there were like rumors that he was trying to shop his own reality show. And people were like, this was all for publicity. And that was the story. And so they did this doc about it. And I was shocked by this Balloon Boy documentary. Because then also they released the video, right? They put the video out publicly. They were like, it was real. The family was like, no, it was real. And they put this video out. And the video is the balloon going up into the sky. And the dad yelling about how it's not tethered down. And then the older son saying, hey, my brother's in the balloon. He's in there. He crawled in there. He's in the balloon. And they put this video out, and we all saw it. But the video comes across as so over the top and feels very reality show acty. So when they put this video out, it did the complete opposite that they wanted it to do. And everybody was like, oh, these aren't even good actors. Like, this was a total hoax. Now this documentary comes out, and this was, 15 years ago or something like that at this point. This is...
Balloon Boy?
Yeah. Yeah, it was way longer ago than I even realized.
He's now Balloon Man.
He is a balloon man. He's in the doc.
Is he?
He's 100% in the doc.
I have to watch it. I know it came out.
So it completely... The whole thing threw me for a loop.
Yeah, that was me.
That's who he is. He's like an older kid. He's like 19 years old or something like that. I don't know. But the whole thing was like, I didn't understand because I thought, here's what the story is. The whole doc is about how like they were like, no, it wasn't a hoax.
Right. I did read that this doc really does position it as
Yeah.
what happened.
Like the family is, to this day, the little kid included, who's now a big man, all of them saying that, no, we told the truth. The wife is saying, like, no, we thought that kid was in there. The dad was saying we weren't shopping a reality show. We didn't want that reality show. Like the lawyer that represented them coming forward, the kids are all like, yeah, that's exactly how it happened. And they try to explain everything. Now there are still people, like the town, because what happened was they charged the dad. Like
with what? Like lying,
like wasting the police time, filing a false report.
Like Jussi Smollett.
Right, Jussi. Another falsely accused person, according to him. That's what he said.
That's true.
And so they said basically like his wife is an Asian woman. I don't know exactly where she's from.
His real wife or the swapped wife?
No, he kept the swap wife. It became his real wife.
Wow.
No, his OG wife. But like her English is not great.
Okay.
And so they show, and this was part of the evidence, like in the police tape, the officer is saying, so it was a hoax. And this woman is saying, yes, it was a hoax. But she keeps repeating, yes, it was a hoax. But contextually, it starts to feel like she's repeating, like she goes, I didn't know what the word hoax meant.
Right. Okay.
Right? Which is plausible. Believable. I mean, they say she spoke English, she has a degree in English, like blah, blah, but she does speak in broken English. Like she does have a very heavy accent. And English is certainly not her first language.
Okay.
So they said, like, so that was the beginning of explaining all these things that made it so clear. Like the media story was so obvious that it was and the video they played the video on the doc, and it still comes across as like the shittiest acting you've ever seen in your life. Like it's even when they say they weren't acting, you watch the video back and you go, nobody acts like this. They're either terrible actors or total psychopaths that have no idea how to interact with each other. Like, there's no way. So the cops then, like, press charges and everything, and they got this lawyer. And the lawyer, I mean, he's their lawyer, but he says, no, they got railroaded.
Okay.
Again, he's their lawyer, so
sure,
he would say that. But maybe he's right. And basically they said, listen, you can try this case, and you might win. I think, you could win. However, if you don't, not only will you go to jail, but they're going to deport your wife. And so the wife is like, I'm sitting here going like, yeah, we're not lying, is what the wife is saying. But if I don't do this, then who knows the way the court system works? Innocent people get found guilty. That happens. And if that does happen, the wife gets deported and she can't see her kids anymore. And so the dad pleads guilty to a lesser charge and does like either 30 or 60 days in jail. Like they got him. He went to jail for it. But still the whole time is saying like, I'll plead guilty to this charge, but this is exactly why I'm doing it. And then they ended up moving out of the town. They like live in this spot where nobody bothers them with a locked gate and everything.
I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, like they moved away. They moved away from everything. They never shopped a reality show for what it's worth. But it's just really...
So what do you think after watching it?
I mean, I think... And the cops, by the way, still... But again, this was their case. This is what cops do.
Cops are never going to admit they're wrong.
That's exactly right. So the lawyer's never going to admit he's wrong. The cop's never going to admit that they're wrong. So you have both those sides. It's hard. Like, for the whole... It's an hour-long doc, so it's an easy watch. The family is not changing their story at all.
Right.
They're like, no, we fucked up. We made a lot of terrible decisions. But we're also like, the dad is kind of nuts.
I remember that.
He's like kind of a nutty. He's like
a bit nutty.
Yeah, he's a bit nutty. Like he's kind of nuts in the way that almost like a movie. Like he's an inventor. That's who he is.
It's like Wayne Zelinsky.
Right. How Wayne Zelinsky was a little nuts, and he comes home and his kids are they're the size of a blade of grass. He shrunk the kids. Yeah. And then one time he blew up the kid. Made him bigger. He didn't explode him. But yeah, he's got a very like real life Wayne Zelinsky vibe.
Okay.
Where he's hard up for cash. He doesn't seem to have a lot of money. Because he's an inventor. Like he would probably make his living trying to sell patents or whatever.
Oh, he's like the guy from Gremlins. He's the
Exactly.
dad from Gremlins.
Yeah, he's like all these guys. Yes. He's like a movie inventor.
Bathroom buddy.
Yes. He's got something called Suck It that he's hoping that the military buys the patent and maybe he can make $20 million or something like that.
Does he have a song?
Yeah, it goes like this. Suck it. Suck it. Suck it. So
what do you think?
it's hard to say that the family's lying because it would be so much lying, like, and psychotic lying. And you wouldn't have, I feel like if they made the kid lie when he was 6 years old, then as an adult, he would be resentful of that. He wouldn't just, like, you can't continue on the lie. He also, they show a part, and they have footage of it, where he said, basically he's 6, and 6-year-olds, like, they say the wrong thing all the time. They don't mean what they're saying because they're trying to figure out the words.
Their brains aren't developed.
Literally yesterday, my wife took the kids to the Natural History Museum.
Ooh.
And my daughter, who's 6, said she went to the natural... She combined museum and history into one word. Huseum, I think. Or Huse, and it's
Did you hit her?
I said that's not how it's said.
Now lie about being in a balloon.
Yeah, now get in that balloon. Well, just tell them you were in there. No, but they said that after that kid came out, the press was outside. And there's the way it works is like he wasn't just hiding in the garage. There's like an attic over just the garage. There's a garage attic, and there's a trap door that you can get in, and it's almost like a little like clubhouse type thing. And his story as a 6-year-old is that he just wandered off because his dad yelled at him. So he wandered off. He wanted to be alone, and then he went up there, and then he fell asleep.
Oh, like in Kindergarten Cop.
Exactly like in Kindergarten Cop. Yes. Which, you know, it's.
I do think
it's a weird story, but I say all that to say that once he was out and everything and everybody knew, one of the people from the press, from the media that were outside the house said, "Show me how you got into the thing." So there was a scene where for the show, he showed them how he got up in the attic.
Okay.
So what they're saying is he got confused as a 6-year-old as to what the question was. And when he said, "I got into the attic for the show," he was talking about the media person in the driveway that he had done it for like an hour before this Wolf Blitzer Larry King interview.
Do they interview any press in this documentary that like covered the story?
Yeah, but they just kind of give the story that they covered. They don't take an opinion.
I do think so. They're sticking to their story.
The family.
Yeah, the family.
Family.
Family. It's much easier to stick to a lie as a grown up when you were a grown up then and you're a grown up now than to be 6 then and a grown up now and continue with that lie.
And why?
And why?
Why wouldn't you be like, you know, I mean, usually 6-year-olds like that realize if they're like being raised by liars,
or like you told a friend because like...
Yeah, I can't believe they made me do this. And the older brother, who's like not that much older, probably 2-3 years older, is like, I feel guilty for making such a big commotion. I made my parents believe that he was in there because I'm the one that said he had crawled in there. So he's also still maintaining this thing.
All right.
Like, listen, so this is the interview on the Wolf Blitzer Larry King show.
Is that what it's called? Yeah,
it made me when I watched this, it gave me anxiety about fill-in hosts. Because I'm like, what if like the Balloon Boy thing happens and they want fill-in hosts on the wrestling channel.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what if I get because imagine like Larry King's probably rolling over in his grave. That stupid Wolf is still getting coverage for this GD interview is probably what he's thinking.
Also pretty nuts that Wolf had the same TV then that he does now.
Same TV. Yeah. By the way, same haircut, same everything. Wolf figured out life in the Balloon Boy era and just said, that's life.
He's 100% that he was on board.
And Falcon was really in the garage this whole time.
Hey, pause for a second.
I don't know if Falcon...
It's the type of family that names their kid Falcon.
Falcon.
You know what I mean? Like there's something off.
That's almost like when you let your kid pick his name.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're like, robot. Yeah. And you're like, oh, no. Wants to be called Robot.
It's like in Step Brothers when he goes, "You have to call me Dragon."
That's right. That's exactly right.
Can hear me, but was he, because I know at some point he fell asleep in that garage, but he was hiding out because he thought you were going to punish him for something that happened earlier in the day. Did he hear anything? Did he hear you screaming out, Falcon, Falcon?
Falcon, Falcon.
He's asking Falcon, did you hear us calling your name at any time? You did?
You did?
Why didn't you come out?
You guys said that we did this for the show.
Man.
I mean, it's so.
And the mom going, no.
No.
It's like, I mean, still, here's the problem, right? Like when you watch the doc and you hear the family talking, you're like, oh man, these poor people got railroaded. And then when you watch the Wolf Blitzer Larry King interview, and when you see the video of like the dad yelling about the tether and everything, you're like, this is the least believable thing I've ever seen in my life.
But like,
Mike, see if you can find that video with the balloon boy and the tether. Balloon boy's balloon. He's cursing about the tether, you know?
Like kids this age, when you're being asked questions, like they don't know what they're supposed to say. They don't know what they should say.
They don't even really know what they're being asked.
No.
This is kindergarten age. Like they're figuring it out.
They don't know if like their answer is going to get them in trouble.
Right. Right.
Oh man, I don't know what to think.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
the story was the best.
I love Balloon Boy story. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, this family has to live in the woods with a locked gate in front of their house.
Yeah, but he could, like, Falcon could parlay this into, like, a Balloon Man comeback.
Some kind of T-shirt line.
Yeah.
Like, you know, something like, you know, Big Johnson's except Balloon Man.
Okay.
And it'd just be Balloon Man doing various things. You know,
but
I don't know.
Referencing balloons?
Well, yeah. Maybe like balloon. The double entendre is balloons. You know.
Now, would the double entendre be for balls or boobs?
I think, based on the culture that we're in, you probably want to go balls.
Okay.
Because that way you're self-referential. You're not objectifying somebody else. You know what I mean? You're not. You want to avoid the male gaze. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I try to avoid it all the time.
Wow, tough for you. And that's why I think you want to focus on the balls. And say, like, you know, this boy, like maybe the arrow's pointing up and you go, this boy's got balloons. You see what I'm saying? And then it's like there's two balloons.
Yeah, but nobody calls them balloons.
Well, maybe they put two balloons at the bottom of the shirt and you wear it sort of below the waist. And that way you're like, oh, I thought balloons were the other thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. Maybe like gotta have balloons. Something like that. I think it could be huge. I think we're waiting for something like that.
They're really pumping out these Untolds.
No, you mean
train wrecks, yeah.
Yeah, and then every time a train wreck goes off, they advertise for the next one.
It's like a season almost, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. So here's the uncut video of the liftoff. And tell me when you watch this.
It's been a long time since I've seen this.
And it was for me. I had totally forgotten this video existed. But they were like, see, they said we put out that we had a video. And once people started questioning our story, we put this out to be like, see, we're not telling stories.
All right.
It even starts suspiciously.
Are you going to fly now?
Oh. Okay, hold on, Brad. Cut. Record.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Oh my God. Okay. Are you in? Taylor! You didn't put the tether down!
He's kicking me.
No, that's not believable.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the kick and like, oh!
But maybe he's a psycho that
I'm
is
so mad.
But he might also, be just really bad at showing his emotions. You know, he might be terrible at expressing himself. But it does come across as very staged.
Yeah.
Very staged. Like, I know I'm on camera and I have to be mad. That tether. You see what I mean about it? I told you. It's all about the tether, right?
It is. And Like, it seems so fake.
Right.
But I am seeing on Wikipedia that apparently he got investigated for domestic abuse before this event took place.
And?
I mean, he just screamed at his wife in a way that, like, I'd believe it if he smacked her a couple times at some point. So.
But was he found guilty?
Unconclusive, according to Wikipedia.
So who knows?
I don't want to put that on him. But that makes me believe that, like,
that
either
maybe
he's a really crazy actor or that's just how insane that he is.
He does go into fits of rage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. He curses in the doc. He says the F word.
That's a big deal. Only a psychopath would do that.
Yeah, Hunter Biden. These guys are nuts. Yeah, so it really was one of those, like, everything I know about this story, aside from the documentary, I'm like, clearly staged.
But now you don't know.
And then the documentary, it's like absolutely not staged. And you're like,
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, watch it. Because the family is like the whole doc is we got railroaded. That's the whole story. And I'm like, I have never heard that version of the story at all.
That's probably why they agreed to do the doc.
Yeah. Because they were like, we'll tell your story.